was shit today. I can't talk to girls. I asked a girl out. She said no. You're ugly. I have no friends. By myself. Nobody's here to save me. Well, I hope there is. There's that one girl in my class. I hope she talks to me one day. So weak. I tried going to the gym, but it was too hard. I was hurting every day. I don't like to be in pain.
Need pain.
But I don't want pain.
You don't grow without pain.
But that's too hard. Life should be easy.
No. Everything great cannot be achieved without pain.
I don't believe you.
I'll show you. How's it going, guys? Welcome to
Chill, you're gonna knock down the camera, but that's the hype we need.
episode 1 of the new season. This is season 2.
Life changing.
This is it. So you clicked on this video for one reason and one reason only. You want to get better. You were probably in Angel's situation and you felt the same way, because there's a ton of people out there that feel the exact same way.
Yep.
But
It's sad to see.
it's very sad to see, and they don't know how to fix it. They don't know how to change their lives.
Yep.
The first thing you need to do is accept that you can't fix it and make a change. So we're glad you're here today, and we're going to tell you exactly how to fix your life completely. This is step 1, and step 1 is the most important step. So if you're feeling sad, if you're feeling depressed, if you feel like you can't get something, if you feel like you're a loser, nothing in life is going good for you, and to a lot of you, or to some of you, these might all seem like laughable things, like, oh, who's really feeling those things? To be honest, I'd say like half the people in the world, not honestly.
Nah, I'd say more.
Like
I'd
at
say
least
a lot
half
more.
the people. At least half the people that I interact with feel this exact way.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it throughout my life. Like people like this, that they think like the world's against them and that they can't get anywhere, and it's like you're getting yourself stuck with that.
Mm-hmm. So listen, if that's you and you're watching this, you're not alone. Because I used to be there.
Yeah, I used to be there too.
And we're going to get you out of this. So no worries. So we're going to tell you. This video is going to be titled Mindset. Because the first thing that you need to change is your mind.
You can't change anything else before you change what's inside of you and what's in your head. Because if you have that same mentality that nothing's going to go good for me, you're going to stay stuck there.
Mm-hmm.
You have to manifest that you're going to get better.
And your mind is extremely powerful. It's the most powerful tool that you have.
Yep.
It's way more powerful than you think. And the first step is always your mind. So don't worry. If you're feeling like the things we described, we're going to get you out of there. If you feel like your life is stuck forever and never going to be, good, you're never going to be happy, you're never going to be successful, a lot of people feel that way. It's not true.
And it's like, before we get into it too, don't expect an overnight change. Because it takes discipline and dedication
This is
to
the first step
stick
of
these
many.
things into your head.
But we're going to start small. We're going to
Baby
start very
steps.
small. You don't have to do too much today.
Yep.
So I'm going to tell you exactly how to change your mind. And we're going to start with the number 1 most important piece of advice that I ever received and that you are probably ever going to receive. And it's that nobody is coming to save you. So there used to be days where I would walk around, after having a really terrible day. I'd walk around and I'd be like, I really hope somebody can come and save me. Either, I'd see a cute girl walking. I was like, I really hope she'd come and talk to me because it will really make me happy.
It's like, if you want something, you have to pursue it. You can't know it, and it's not going to fall on your lap. Nothing's ever like that.
Exactly.
So
And I know a lot of people wish that, maybe if I win the lottery, maybe if I get a raise, maybe if I somehow land that good job, I'm going to be happy.
And then, like, if it was a utopian society, that would work. But the reality of it is everybody's looking out for themselves. Nobody cares about you.
So you're not going to get anything for free.
Nope.
Nobody's going to randomly walk into your life to save you.
There's no such
And if
thing
they
as
do,
a free hot meal.
They're going to leave you worse off. Because I've had times in my life, actually, where I was really hoping for somebody to come in and, save me and add value to my life. And sometimes it actually happened on rare occasions. But what happens when those people leave, you end up even worse than when you started.
Because you grow attached to these people, because you're like, because I've heard a lot of people like, oh, well, if that girl liked me, everything would be better, right? And let's say that does happen. Happiest man alive, right?
It happened. Exactly.
But when she leaves, then what? Because you weren't able to stand on your own before her. She was there for you to lean on. So you can't be attached to people like that. You have to, self-improvement comes from the inside.
Exactly. So nobody's coming to save you. You have to take these steps by yourself, but you're not alone. You got, whether you're religious or not, you got God with you.
Yep.
And you got us right here with you. So we're going to tell you exactly what to do. The first step is you have to understand, like we've been saying, we're going to keep repeating it so you understand. Nobody's coming to save you, but don't worry, you got this.
And also, you have to look at it as like life is what it is. You can't sugarcoat it for yourself, but also you can't over-exaggerate it. You got to look at your life for what it is. If you're broke, you know why? It's probably because you don't have that good of a job. Or maybe you're not even working at all. You're living off your parents. So it's like you have to look at it as like, you know, this is what it is. These are the XYZ problems in my life, because you can't say like, well, I don't know what's wrong with my life, or I don't know why things are not going my way. There's always a reason. You just have to take the time to step back and self-reflect. And that's where it starts, being self-aware, seeing where your issues are, where your problems are, so you can address them and start getting better.
So now the second step, after you accept that no one's coming to save you and you have to make the change, is that anything is possible. So what I want you to do right now, close your eyes while watching this and imagine 5 years from now, your dream life. What does your dream life look like 5 years from now? Are you jacked? You have your dream girlfriend? Maybe 5 of them? Are you rich?
Maybe you have that family you wanted.
You're extremely confident in every situation. You always feel good about yourself. Maybe everybody loves you.
You got that supercar you've always dreamed of as a kid.
Everyone treats you with respect.
It's possible.
You can have anything you want. Now open your eyes, and I want you to understand that that life you just imagined is extremely far away from reality. However, it is very possible.
And don't let people say it's impossible, because it's not. If there's a will, there's a way. If you want to get something done, you put your mind to it, you will get it done.
And don't hate on other people who've done it,
No.
saying they're lucky. Because they're not lucky. They've actually done something to do it. And they've shown you that it's possible. And you're going to do it too.
Yeah, those top 2%, top 5% of people, if you look at it, they're all doing something that most of the population is not doing. Whether that's getting up early in the morning, working 10 to 12 hours a day, working at their craft, their business. So it's not luck. It's dedication, discipline, and hope that you're going to get your dream accomplished.
Exactly. So now the third thing I want to talk about is nothing great will be achieved without hard work. Now everybody loves easy money.
Yeah.
So now I make music, right? I'm an artist and I have an artist page on Instagram. And I get there's a ton of scams on Instagram. Everybody gets them. And I get a ton of messages that say stuff like, hey, you know, we want you to be on our playlist. We want you to model for us. You know, we really like your pictures. We really like your music. Obviously scams. But the reason they do that is because they know a lot of people are going to believe them because it's a quick way to get money. Oh, somebody saved me. Somebody recognized me. I could just join and I could just get a bunch of money.
Yeah.
Little do they know. I don't believe that at all. Because everything good is not going to come without hard work.
There's always a cost to it.
Anything you want in life, you cannot achieve it without working hard. And you cannot achieve it without pain. It's going to be hard. It has to be hard.
And if you do attain it the easy way, it's gonna come back to you.
You're not going to be happy at all.
Nope.
Imagine, and you might not realize it now, but how would you feel if somebody gave you $50 and they said, go spend whatever you want for free? You buy that item, you know, you might be happy with it right away. But after a little bit, you're going to be like, you know, I'm left with it. I can't ever buy it again. I don't know how I got it. But how about if you earn that $50 and you go and buy an item with that hard work? You actually feel like you deserve it.
Yeah.
And you actually feel like you can get more and earn it again.
And you'll probably buy something more worth your time. Because when people are handing you stuff, you're like, well, it doesn't really matter. I'll get whatever, right? But when you start working and you have your own things that you earned, that you worked for, it becomes that much more valuable.
Now that takes me to my fourth point, which is very similar. Pain is good.
Yep.
Pain is very good for you. We're all programmed to have the mindset that feeling pain is bad, What do they tell you? If you feel depressed, if you feel anxious, if you feel tired, if you feel lonely, find a therapist.
Yeah,
Take a
it's
pill.
some kind of
Something's
medical
wrong
issue.
with you.
Yeah.
That's not true at all. You need pain. Now think about this. This is why bad experiences are good. Say somebody told you a joke. They wanted to prank you. Like, I'll give you an example. Somebody tells you, have you seen the clown that hides from gay people? And you've never heard it before. So you say, no, I haven't seen the clown. And you get pranked. Because if you haven't seen the clown, that means the clown is hiding from you and you're gay.
Yeah.
And how about if 3 days later, another person asks you that? They go to you, they say, hey, have you seen the clown that hides from gay people? But now you know the joke. So you say, yeah, I have seen the clown. And you didn't get fooled by it. It's the same thing by every experience in life. If something bad happens to you, you can cross that off your checklist, because if it happens again, you're ready for it.
Yeah.
But how about if it never happens? If nothing bad ever happens to you, the first time it happens to you, the later in life, you're going to be wrecked. You're going to be screwed.
Now, another analogy is the gym. It's like, if you're not getting sore, if you don't feel that pain after you work out, a healthy kind of pain, because there is pain where it's like joint pain, then you're doing something wrong, you're lifting wrong. But that muscle pain, that muscle soreness, that's a good thing. That means you're putting your muscles through hypertrophy and that you're growing new muscle, new tissue. That means you're getting stronger. But if you always go to the gym and you never feel that pain, you're not growing. So it's like there's always a cost of something, whether that be pain, whether that be your time. There's always a cost of something, your hard work. It's going to give you something that's it's not easily attainable, but it's not easily attainable for a reason, because not everybody has it.
Mm-hmm. Well said. So we're going to go over the points really quickly. So no one's coming to save you. You got to do this on your own. But like we said, we're with you. You're going to do this. It's not going to be hard right away. Second, anything is possible. No matter what, even if it's extremely far away and it's not looking good right now, you're going to be able to do it little by little.
Step by step.
Put small goals. Say maybe I'll feel a little happier tomorrow. Tiny things like that.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll actually get, I'll make my bed.
Because it's not realistic to set large goals, because you end up losing yourself in like what you're doing.
But eventually, like after those tiny goals, you'll realize they'll start to get bigger and bigger, and in no time,
you have to build that
all the way up
self-trust.
there. So we also went over nothing great will be achieved by hard work. There's no easy money. Anytime anybody offers you easy money, easy success, don't take
There's
it.
a scam. There's something behind it.
Something's gonna be wrong with
Something's
it.
gonna bite you in the ass.
You have to work hard. If you work hard and if you feel pain, that's good, because that means you're gonna get better.
Yep.
So pain is good for you. If you ever feel pain, if you're ever hurting, that's good. Take it as a man. Feel it. Whenever like I feel pain or I get heartbroken or anything, I sit there and I feel it. I literally sit there for like half an hour and I feel every single bit of it until it goes away. Because that's good for you.
I do the same thing. I'll feel it. Maybe it's just a personal thing, but I start laughing about it. After a while, after I feel it, I'm like, you know what? That was funny. Like, the fact that I'm even feeling this way is funny. And it puts me in a good mood and it gets me hyped and it makes me want to do more things.
Mm-hmm. So pain is good for you. Bad experiences are also good for you, because the more bad experiences that you go through before you get really old, the better prepared you'll be for anything.
The more experienced you'll be.
And I'll give you another example. If you're in trouble and you want a police officer to come save you, do you want a police officer who's new and hasn't had any trouble? Or do you want the police officer who's gotten shot before, who's had to shoot people, who's arrested many people, who's seen many people die, coming to save you? Obviously, you want the experienced one who's been through a ton of stuff.
Yep.
Same with anything. And on my next point, and this is extremely important, and this one changed my life. It can always be worse. Always. There's people dying right now. There's people fighting in wars right now. There's people locked up, innocent or guilty, in jail right now for the rest of their lives. There's people with no food, with no water. So you think your life is bad. There's people that would die for your life. As much as a loser as you feel, there's people that would die to switch with you, just to have your bed, just to have a roof over their head like you, just to have access to food and water like you.
Yep. Yeah, and it's like, as Americans, we're really fortunate for where we are. We have easy access to food. We have easy access to shelter. Even as a homeless person, there's a lot that the government gives you, and you can survive. And there is many homeless people out there doing it. We're not a third world country where you have to grow your own food, you have to harvest your own food, you have to take care of your own family. You have very limited technology. You're still using 19th century tools, and it's not like the United States where we have mostly top of the line things. So it's if you think it's really bad, trust me, there's somebody out there that's worse. So you need to be grateful for what you have and work for it to get better.
Exactly. So no matter how bad you feel, ask yourself, what's the worst person in the world going through right now? Or the person that's going through the worst thing. Would they want to switch lives with you? Of course they would.
There could be people on their deathbed wishing they had your life.
So ask yourself that question anytime that you're going through something, and it's going to change. So it can always be worse. And then we're almost done here. Always make the best move. So you've heard a lot of people say, probably, I've said it before, life is like chess. Chess is a game that represents life. So in chess, no matter what, every time you make a move, you want to make the best move on the chessboard. Now say you're in a situation in life where you don't think you're going to make it out. You're stuck somewhere, and you think no matter what move you make, you'll be screwed. Now let's imagine that in chess. Your king is cornered. No matter what move you make, you think you're going to die. However, maybe 9 out of 10 times it's going to be true. But there might be that one time where you move your king and you're going to be able to escape. There might be that one move. It's the same thing in life. You never know. There might be that one time where, you want to commit suicide, or you just want to end it, or you just want to give up and not do anything with your life. And you just get up and do one last move. And maybe that move is going to change your life.
Yeah, and it can be difficult at times to know what the right move is. But it all starts with making the decision that you're going to get better. And as you grow, you start knowing what you believe in, what your values are, and what direction that you want to go in. And it becomes easy as to what decisions are the right decisions. You won't be left questioning yourself and doubting yourself. You know what you want to do and what you need to do in certain situations. And I wanted to go into depth into to my top 4 mindsets that I've adopted that have made a really, really big difference. And the first one I want to start with is abundance. There's so much of everything out there: money, women, job opportunities, knowledge. So don't feel like you're limited, because you're setting yourself into your own jail. You're making yourself a mental slave, because you're limiting what your opportunities can be. So it's like, for example, for the girls, you're like, I don't want any other girl but her. Or there's nobody like this girl. She's the perfect girl. She has no flaws. She's the one for me, right? I could 100% guarantee you there's a girl just like her, and probably just like her, and has maybe a couple little other things that are better, that make her better than the other one.
And I want to say something about that too. This is something that it was extremely hard for me to comprehend, but once I learned it, it was still hard, but once you actually learn it, it completely changes the way that you look at girls. So for every girl that you really like, there's another guy out there that couldn't care less about her, yet she keeps chasing and coming back to.
Yep.
So I've been in both situations. One where I don't really care about a girl, yet I know she likes me and keeps coming. And I've also obviously been in the one where I really care, yet there's another guy who doesn't care and she still goes to him. Yep. So if you ever, want to simp over a girl, or think, she's the only one, just know that there's another guy out there that she likes more than you, but that guy doesn't care.
And another example too is jobs. I always hear a lot of people like, there's no jobs to get. There's nothing here. There's nothing. I can't get a job. That to me, that's such a lie and such low thinking. There is jobs everywhere. It's whether you want to work them or not. And it's like, it's abundance. There's that job. There's another job. You look and you will find a job. Mm-hmm. People always want hard workers.
And I see people always commenting all the time, I got a job making $70K a year. I think I'm doing really good for myself. I'm just going to chill here. If you think that's good, then okay. Yeah. But there's a lot of people out there that don't think that's good. And that's going to give them, the ability to grow more and make more. So if you want to, that's the only problem I have with 9 to 5. There's a limited amount of money that you can make. So you're settling.
Yeah, that's true. But at the same time, too, sometimes that's the only way you could start something. Just have money in your pocket to even start that business. But I totally agree. You're limited. And also, I believe in the mentality, and I know Anthony believes in this too, is be content, but never satisfied. Mm-hmm. You're happy with where you are now. you're cool, you feel confident in yourself, but you still want more. You still want to get better. I mean, and that's what this whole podcast is about. We're happy with where we are. I'm confident in myself. Anthony's confident in himself. But there's also so much more I want because I know I deserve it and I know I could work to attain it. And also, I want to talk about braveness, risk taking. Whether that be with that girl you want to ask out that you've been eyeing forever, going to that job, taking that class, like, you know what, I don't know if I'm gonna like it, or I don't know if it's really gonna do anything. Take it. If it sparks even a little of interest into you, and you weigh out the pros and cons, and there's more pros and cons, go for it, man. Don't be like, well, what if this happens? What if that happens? No, you go into it and you decide what happens. Like, you're gonna make the right moves to get where you want to be, or you're gonna make the moves to get yourself out of there. Don't ever let something or someone dictate your life and your trajectory of life. You need to be in control as much as you can at all times. And self-trust. A lot of guys don't trust themselves. I was at that point too, where I didn't trust myself. I told me, like, I'm gonna start doing 100 push-ups every day, starting tomorrow. Tomorrow came, I didn't even do a single push-up. I'd be like, oh, you know what? All of next week, I'm not gonna drink any soda. I drink soda the next day. So it's like, I didn't trust myself, but I got to a point where I stuck it in my head, like, I need to stick to my own word. Like, if I can't even be honest to myself, how am I gonna be honest to the people around me? Your parents, your peers, your friends, your loved ones, your partners, whoever it may be. How is it that you can tell them with full sincerity what you mean if you can't even tell yourself that? And also, I'm gonna end off with the half full, half empty / pebbles and rock analogies. So imagine you have a cup. The cup is filled. The cup has water, but it's not filled all the way to the top, nor is it filled all the way to the bottom. It's about in the middle. You could look at that cup in two different ways. That cup is half full or it's half empty. You could look at the things you have and be like, you know what? I'm not too bad. I'm good at where I am, but I could get better. My cup is half full. Or you could look at it as like, my cup is half empty. Look at all these things I'm missing. My life is not going well. Nobody likes me. The world is against me. You need to look at it as half full. You're getting there, you're going well, but you need to make it better. And also the pebbles and rock is a good way to prioritize your time. So if you have a glass jar, right, and you put pebbles, let's say like about this size, right? And you have rocks that are about this big. If you put the rocks first, if you put the pebbles first, you could see it as like your wants. You want to watch that movie. You want to hang out with your friends. You want to play that new video game. You want to go to that mall. You want to go to that new store. Those are things that are not important. They're wants, not needs. And there's also the needs. I need to study for that test. I need to update my resume. I need to apply to that job. I need to call my mom to check how she's doing. If you put all those pebbles first, there's gonna be no space for your large rocks. But if you put your large rocks first, you prioritize the important things in your life, like studying, interviews, submitting that job application, updating your resume, keeping in touch with your parents, your family, your loved ones, and then you sprinkle those wants around, everything fits into that jar and everything fits into your time efficiently. You can't get mixed up and throw pebbles first and throw rocks first, because you're never going to get anywhere in life that way. You have to be able to learn how to prioritize. And the final thing I'm going to say is the 5-minute, 5-year rule. So I adopted this mentality, I'd say, a year ago, that I would stress about certain things that weren't in my control. So the way I started to look at it is like, is this situation, is this problem going to affect me in 5 years? Is it going to matter in 5 years? And if the answer is no, I'm not going to waste more than 5 minutes worrying about it. Because at that point, if I'm wasting more than 5 minutes worrying about it, I'm wasting my time. And I'm worrying about something that is not in my control. So you have to be able to look at, you have to be able to realize the things that you can control and the things that are out of your control, and focus on the things you can control. Because if you mix those two up, then it's going to be difficult to get far in life.
That's true. And I've done the same thing, basically. So what I like to do as well, adding on to that, is staying in the present moment. Because your best interactions with people, you'll notice, come in the present moment. The only times where you're nervous is when you're overthinking. Yep. So and meditating is a great way to do that. Whenever you're in the present moment, you'll be shocked. You'll be like a completely different version of yourself. And also, if you can't control a situation, obviously you shouldn't worry about it, but I look at it as like I don't need to worry about it. Like if I can't control something, I look at it as, you know, instead of feeling bad about yourself and trying to control it, I look at it as like it has nothing to do with me.
Yep.
It can't, how can it be my fault if I can't control it? So just focus on the things like Angel said that you can control. And the very last thing that I'm gonna say is, what will your legacy be 5 years from now? Talked about the 5-minute, 5-year rule. If right now your life is not where you want it to be, then get up, stand up, and do something. And you have to have some pride. 5 years from now, in your prime days, once you die, are people going to look back and say his life was a waste? Why was he born? Are they going to look and say that was a man of value, of importance, a man who did great things and contributed positively to society?
And you could think of it too as your family. Do you want your last name? Do you want your name to carry with like to be put up there with very memorable people, or do you want to be a forgettable name?
And you build up your name before you get married.
Yep.
So when you do, is that name going to be embarrassing? Or is it going to be a name that everybody wants to take?
Do you want your kids to be like, my dad was so and so, my last name is this?
The choice is yours. But you got to make that choice. And if you decide to make that choice, then we'll see you in the next video.
Yep.
All right, guys.